Good morning and welcome to the Hanover County Schools The Morning Show. I'm Jamie Stalford.
And I'm Noah Suleiman. This is the week of October 14th through October 19th.
This week we feature energy awareness and have tons of tips that you can use to save energy and money.
For example, run cold water for disposal. Hot water requires energy to warm the water. Cold water saves energy and solidifies grease, moving it easily through the garbage disposal and pipes.
That's great, Noah. Thanks. Now, along with all these energy efficiency tips, our show this week is also packed with many of our education-based features.
We'll have an A-plus teachers where we sit down with our College Parks Teacher of the Year, Melissa Quarento.
Then in our new segment, Math Fun 101, Riddle Grove math coach Ryan Redd shows us how to work percents.
We also have another new segment where we highlight one of the new Hanover County Schools' career technical education programs. This week, we visit Laney High and take a look at the health science program.
As always, it's another great edition of The Morning Show. But before we get going, let's take a look at some more energy tips.
We are promising a tip-packed show.
Here's one that goes along with your first tip. Skip rinsing the dishes. Rinsing dishes before loading them into the dishwasher wastes energy. If you do have to rinse, use cold water.
In addition to that, clean the filter. If your dishwasher has a filter screen, clean it regularly. A clean appliance runs more efficiently.
While we're on dishwashers, I have one more great tip. This seems like something most people probably do, but for those that don't, run full loads. Always wait until you have a full load before running your dishwasher. Full loads use the same amount of hot water and energy as smaller loads. You run fewer loads and save energy.
Those are great tips. Now let's swing over to our news anchor, Rachel Glue, who is standing with our first look at your school news headline. Good morning, Rachel.
Good morning, Jamie and Noah, and welcome everyone to your school news here on The Morning Show. Topping the headlines this week, Board of Education monthly meeting notes, world-renowned violinist performs at Snipes, and we have the third in our month-long series of special reports on bullying. I will have all those stories and more coming up later in the show.
Thanks, Rachel. We get things going today with the segment we called This Week in History. Our Grand Master of Historical Knowledge has all the headlines from past times in This Week in History, brought to you by Kidsville News.
Welcome to This Week in History. I'm your historical host, Hannah Bullock, covering all of the colorful and amazing events that have left their mark on history's timeline. This is the week of October 14th through October 20th. October 14th, 1947, U.S. Air Force Captain Chuck Yeager becomes the first person to fly faster than the speed of sound. October 15th, 1917, Mati Hari, the archetype of the seductive female spy, is executed for espionage by a French firing squad outside of Paris. October 16th, 1946, at Nuremberg, Germany, 10 high-ranking Nazi officials are executed by hanging for their crimes against humanity, crimes against peace, and war crimes during World War II. And on October 17, 1989, the deadliest earthquake to hit the San Francisco area since 1906 strikes at 5:04 p.m. and lasts for 15 seconds. The quake measured 7.1 on the Richter scale, and its aftermath was witnessed on live television by millions of people watching the third game of the World Series. October 18th, on this day in 1867, the U.S. formally takes possession of Alaska after purchasing the territory from Russia for $7.2 million, or less than 2 cents an acre. Finally, your weekend history tidbits. October 19, 1781, hopelessly trapped at Yorktown, Virginia, British General Cornwallis surrenders 8,000 British soldiers and seamen to a larger Franco-American force, effectively bringing an end to the American Revolution. On October 20th, 1947, the notorious Red Scare kicks into high gear in Washington as a congressional committee begins investigating communist influence in one of the world's richest and most glamorous communities, Hollywood. That's This Week in History, your ultimate source for those key moments in time. I'm Hannah Bullock. Thanks for stopping by.
This Week in History is brought to you by Kidsville News, a fun and effective learning resource for children, teachers, and parents. It features school news, information, and local community events while promoting literacy and the development of good reading habits, character traits, and study skills in young children. And, best of all, Kidsville News is always free. Copies are delivered every month to every elementary school in the new Hanover County school system.
And join us again next time for another journey through time as we explore the fun, fascinating, entertaining, and educational facts that make up This Week in History.
Now don't go away, we'll be right back.
Have you heard of the Teen Court program? Teen Court is an alternative system of justice where first-time teen offenders are tried by their peers for misdemeanor offenses. Student volunteers from local high schools assume the roles of the court staff, empowering them to take responsibility for problems of crime and violence in their schools and communities. If you know someone who may benefit from Teen Court or would like to become involved, contact the Community Mediation Center on the web or by calling 362-8000.
Pull your face mask down. All right. What about the chest guard? It looks loose. Is it loose? All right, what about the shin guards? All right. Okay. Here comes the heat. Bring it in. Bring it in. Good hustle.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who would love to put up with you.
Each month, we are thrilled to spotlight an individual school's Teacher of the Year. In this segment entitled A-Plus Teachers, we take the time to get to know a little bit about the teacher's background and get an understanding of their philosophy of teaching that earned them their school's honor of Teacher of the Year. This morning, we feature College Park Elementary School's Teacher of the Year, Melissa Coranto.
My philosophy of teaching, philosophy of education is always changing depending on the group of students that we have and the years of experience that I've had. I believe it is very important to capitalize on the diversity of our students, to get to know each of them individually and develop their strengths, identify their strengths, and work with them and help them to see where they can be successful and how they can contribute to our community. I think to help our students the most, we should invest in our teachers as the #1 predictor of student success by standing by our teachers and supporting them and giving them the resources and advocating for them. That's the surest way I think that we can come to support our students and help them grow as learners too. Now in our age of 21st, developing 21st century skills, it's a critical time to really work on creativity and innovation and helping our students to be flexible learners, but not only that, but again, helping them identify their own individual strengths and where they can be leaders in the community. To increase parent involvement here at College Park, we do many things as a school. We have what's called Pastries for Parents, and we invite parents out once a month, and there's a different topic that we talk about, and ranging from EOGs to study skills to what are 7 habits of happy kids and leadership. Also, I think it's important with our assessments that we do. A lot of times we have our own teacher language, and so I try to kind of at the beginning of the year, I like to meet with all of my parents. I like to meet with them several times throughout the year, go over those assessments and what all the letters mean and the different terms that we use, and put it in a language that allows our parents to help support their children at home in the same ways that we do here at school. And I think just by having that open door communication, inviting them in, talking with them, and trying our best to communicate in a way that's understandable across all playing fields, I think that helps increase parent involvement as well. To stay up to date with innovations in education, first I went back to UNCW. I did my undergrad there and went back for my master's degree a few years ago, and I found that that really helped, collaborating with peers. It was a great opportunity to get together with some really excellent teachers and get their ideas and resources and, try to implement that into my classroom. In addition to that, the professional development that we have here at school, a lot of times we try to have opportunities to get together with other teachers. I meet with my grade level once a week, and it's a great opportunity again for discussion and communication and the chance to share ideas and put our heads together and offer what we might not have been able to come up with on our own. I also enjoy reading, so I get the ASCD Smart Briefs, and whenever I can, I try to look through, especially when an interesting topic pops up on the subject line. I'll take a look. Today's age with the internet and blogging, and there's so many great resources out there. So it's just a matter of filtering through and finding which ones will work best for my students. There are many ways that we incorporate technology into the classroom. We use iPads very frequently, and the children are just as motivated to use the iPads. I find that nature is very intrinsically motivating for students, but so is technology. And anytime you put something new in front of them, they are just so eager to get involved with it. So it could be the same activity that I could do paper and pencil and do it on an iPad, and they're automatically so much more excited about it. So we use iPads and centers and the Mimios and the smart boards. I have a Mimeo, and the students again like that, and they think it's magical. But also too, just the practical uses of technology. When referring to my phone in the classroom, it doesn't look like a phone probably that they've ever seen or used. And I have a friend that I swam with at UNCW, and she's in the Peace Corps, and we have a partnership through the Peace Corps, and she's in Jamaica. So we had the opportunity to Skype with her, and that was really, really neat for them to be able to do that, and really neat for her too to communicate with them. So not only as a use in the classroom as a resource, but we use technology so many times through our planning with the YouTube videos that are available with songs and dances to go along with our educational themes and math objectives. And it's just the opportunities are endless, really. I got into teaching, decided I wanted to be a teacher in college. I don't have one of those stories about going to school with my mom or my grandma or playing school when I was little. I think we all really enjoyed being the teacher when we were little, but it wasn't until college really that I kind of put two and two together and realized this is really what I think I should do and what I think I would be good at. And I really enjoy working with children. The old saying, everyone wants to work with kids, right? That's why you're a teacher. But it's more than that. I think I've always been very driven and enjoy a challenge, and I really don't think there is a more challenging job as far as reflective thinking and the energy requirement in teaching. The community service and is just embedded into our work, and we're so blessed to be able to have the opportunity to come into work every day and know that you're making the difference in the life of a child. So I really can't imagine, a more rewarding job than what I'm doing now teaching. Well, we do this thing in my class where we run a marathon, and it sounds crazy because we're in kindergarten, and running a marathon, is very intense, 26.2 miles, but we do it throughout the course of the year. So we start pretty much in October, and we talk about what it means to be heart healthy, and going along with our habits here at College Park about sharpening the saw and balance feels best. So we go out after recess, and instead of just running laps before we play, we put a purpose to it. So we run the track, and we keep track of how many laps we run until we complete the distance of a half marathon and then a full marathon. And it's a great opportunity to work with the community. And it's also something I really enjoy to do because I'm a runner, and so it's a way for me to put my passion into my teaching in another way.
A+ Teachers is brought to you by New Hanover County Schools Public Relations Department. The Public Relations Department publishes the monthly e-News Parent Update. The update is a monthly e-newsletter that reports on current points of interest within New Hanover County schools, highlights about new programs, updates on New Hanover County Schools initiatives, latest advances in academics and instruction, system-wide events calendar, and more. You can subscribe to the e-update right off the school system's main web page at www.nhcs.net.
Earlier in the show, we went over a few tips for saving energy with your dishwasher. Now we have some great tips on how you can save energy while cooking.
Our first tip is one many people already know. Don't peek in the oven. Resist the urge to open the oven door while baking. Every time you peek, the temperature drops 10 to 25 degrees and requires additional energy to bring the temperature back up.
Oh, it's always so hard not to peek. Here's a great tip when you have to boil something. Reduce the heat. Begin cooking on a higher heat setting until your liquid begins to boil, then lower the temperature and simmer the food until fully cooked. A fast boil does not cook faster than a slow boil, but it does use more energy.
Good one.
Thank you.
Following along those lines is my next tip. Put a lid on it. Cook food and boil water in a covered container whenever possible. This traps the heat inside and requires less energy.
I like it.
Thanks.
It's now time to swing over to the news desk with Rachel, who is standing by with our first look at your school news. Good morning, Rachel.
Good morning, and welcome to your school news on the morning show. I'm Rachel Glue. The New Hanover County Board of Education held their monthly meeting on Tuesday, October 1st. YSN reporter Gabrielle Black was on hand at the meeting and has the full report.
This month's board meeting was a lively one. Several items were tabled for further discussion, and there was a lengthy dialogue on a partnership with the Hill School. Let's start with the recognition of achievement. The Board of Education recognized a number of students in 3 schools at the October meeting. New Hanover High School Lyceum students were acknowledged for their outstanding senior exhibit at the National History Day competition. And Wrightsboro Elementary students were recognized for their statewide art competition honors. 3 schools were acknowledged for their Title I success. Dr. Markley gave a presentation on efforts by the Young Women's Leadership Network to start a new school for girls in partnership with the school system. Further discussion on this item was requested. Under Old Business, Policy 6082, which amended issues with the school system's Employee Code of Ethics and Standards of Conduct, was approved. New business on the agenda included information on the strategic plan development services, which the board choosing to postpone to a later date. Updates to the membership of the 2013 to 2014 Advisory Council for Exceptional Students was approved. 2 easement agreements, one with the Cape Fear Public Transportation Authority and the other with the Cape Fear Public Utility Authority, were both tabled with a request for additional information from both organizations. Other new businesses included 4 design consultant agreements, 3 for the HVAC improvements and 1 for roof replacement. All of them were approved. 3 items from the Instructional Accountability Department were approved. They included local options for alternative schools, the Amplify contract, and renewal of the Community Development Institute Head Start contract. Other new businesses included the renewal of Castle Learning software and cabling at Myrtle Grove Middle School. Both items were approved by the board. The board had a considerable debate on the last 2 items under new businesses. The school's fee scheduled in partnership with the private Hill School. Regarding school fees for the use of outdoor school property, a panel of 3 board members will meet with staff to develop a new producer. Dr. Markley will coordinate a meeting with the Hill School representative. Finally, the New Hanover County Board of Education will hold a joint meeting with the New Hanover County Commissioners on October 16th at 3:30 p.m. in the library of College Park Elementary. Your school news will be there to cover the event. The next regular Board of Education meeting will be Tuesday, November 5th at 5:30 p.m. at the Board of Education Center, 1805 South 13th Street. As always, if you cannot attend the meeting in person, you can watch the telecast live here on the Learning Network or tune in for the broadcasts Wednesday nights at 8 p.m., Friday mornings at 8 a.m., and Sundays at 1 p.m. Board meetings can also be watched online at www.nhcs.net. That's your board notes for the month of October. I'm Gabriella Black. Back to you.
The school system's long-standing partnership with the Office of Cultural Arts at UNCW brought inspiration to elementary school students when world-renowned violinist Ray Chen performed for students of Snipes Elementary Academy of Arts and Design. This unique event exposed Snipes students to classical music, but it also taught them proper audience etiquette and perhaps a newfound love for the arts.
Each year as I get older and older, I'm an age further and further away from them. So elementary school for me is definitely the most difficult, but what I try to impart to them is that to find, to find something that they love doing. First of all, I call it finding your passion in life, and that's so important because, what you do, a lot of kids they go through elementary, then middle school, then high school, and because it takes a while to search for your passion and to find it. Sometimes, the normal, okay, doctor, lawyer, engineer, these things are not what most kids want to do. The stuff that's kind of just, I feel like our education, is oftentimes, it's a grid pattern, and there's more than that. It should be more innovative than that and more flexible. So I think that I try to encourage, young kids to find what they love doing at a younger age, and then to keep doing that, to go for it, and so that hopefully eventually it'll become, something that they can make a living off of.
In addition to the musical performance by Chen, students participated in a petting zoo, which allowed them to have hands-on experience with violins and other stringed instruments. Ashley High School Chamber Orchestra also had the privilege of working with the award-winning violinist. Chen shared with the students his journey to success and his process of painting a picture with his music. He performed multiple solos for the orchestra and sat among the violin section as the class performed their music for him. Finally, on October is National Bullying Awareness Month. In honor of the month, your school news team has a 4-part series of special reports on bullying. This week, we look at the fast-growing form of bullying in the nation, cyberbullying. Today, students are using the internet more than ever, both at school, at home, and thanks to mobile phones anywhere they go. Unfortunately for many students, the internet isn't simply a convenient way to do research or a fun after-school activity. It's a big part of their social life. Emailing and chatting with friends are a student's most common online activity, but like many other social situations, some kids bully other kids online. Cyberbullies can be classmates, online acquaintances, and even anonymous users, but most often they do know their victims. We get a full report on the cyberbullying from YSN report Chase Fulton.
Bullying is not new, but thanks to the internet, students are bullying other students wherever they go, and on a much larger scale. Online harassment, more often called cyberbullying, is a serious problem. It is usually not a one-time communication unless it involves a death threat or a credible threat of serious bodily harm. Kids usually know it when they see it, while parents may be more worried about the lewd language used by the kids than the hurtful effect of rude and embarrassing posts.
Parents should know that cyberbullying is very different from what they recall from their childhood days. It's very pervasive. 72% of teens have been cyberbullied over the past year, and up to 32% say they have experienced chronic and repeated bullying online. 24% of teens say they have actually participated in cyberbullying.
Vicious forum posts, name-calling in the chat rooms, posting fake profiles on the websites, and mean or cruel email messages are all ways of cyberbullying. This type of bullying has grown with the advances in technology because it lets a bully remain anonymous. Bullies are natural instigators, and in cyberspace, bullies can enlist the participation of other students who may be unwilling to bully in the real world. Kids who stand around doing nothing in a real-life bullying incident often become active participants in online harassment.
There's many things that can be done to combat cyberbullying. Parents need to help teach their kids not to participate in it. The most important thing is not to respond to online bullying. Don't respond to text, don't post anything, don't play into the bullies' games. Students need to tell their parents and school personnel like their counselor, social worker, principal, or the school resource officer so they can get some help with that.
While ignoring the bully, be sure to save the evidence so that school officials, internet providers, and even the police can properly deal with the bully. Cyberbullying may give bullies anonymity, but it always leaves evidence. New Hanover County Schools takes all types of bullying seriously. As soon as the cyberbullying starts to go to officials for help, cyberbullying is often an extension or escalation of bullying that is already happening at school. Parents should also be told what is happening. Students tend to use technology differently than we do. Teens today start playing games online and sending texts on their cell phones at an early age, and most teens have smartphones that keep them constantly connected on the internet. Many are logged onto Facebook and chatting or sending text messages all day. Fortunately, our growing awareness of cyberbullying has helped us learn a lot more about how to prevent it and protect students from online dangers. Reporting for your school news, this is Chase Fulton.
For all the latest on New Hanover County Schools, join us weekdays at 5:30 p.m. here on Time Warner Cable Channel 5 and Charter Cable Channel 12 for your school news, a complete half hour of all the latest news and information from New Hanover County Schools. Now back to our hosts.
Rachel, in addition to watching your school news in the morning show, you can see many of NHCS TV's programming online.
Just go to the school system's website at www.nhcs.net and click on the NHCS TV video library link under items of interest right there on the front page.
You can watch great programs there like Sports Roundtable, Diversity Matters, and Upfront with Superintendent.
It's an excellent way to watch our programming whenever you want.
Each month, we poll students from their thoughts from a host of questions. These questions range from local and national current events to topics that are just for fun. We feature their answers in a segment we call Student Voices. This week, we asked students at College Park Elementary, why or why not do you think teachers should be paid better? And here's what they had to say.
I think teachers should be paid better because they spend all their time helping us and they're just some kids, they need extra help, and it's just they're teaching lots of kids, and sometimes the kids, they need extra help, and and the teachers, they give their time out of their day, and sometimes they spend more time than they're supposed to, and they need to get paid better.
I think teachers should get paid more because they teach over 25 kids, and they make us 21st century leaders.
I think teachers deserve to be paid better because they give us our best education and they help us become the best leaders we can be.
I think teachers should be paid better because they give us their time and they give us our education.
I think teachers should be paid more because they're teaching us subjects and they're putting a lot of time and effort in our lives to make us 21st century leaders.
I think they do need to be paid more because what they do, they spend most of their money, time, and other things on us. And they also give us our education, which we're going to need for the rest of our lives.
I do feel like teachers should be paid more because they do a lot of things for us and they teach us a whole bunch of stuff, and they never go somewhere without us, and they always care for us.
I think they deserve more because they do give us our education, and if it weren't for them, we probably wouldn't be that educated.
I think they should because they take time out of their day and they take money out of their bank accounts to pay money for us, and they didn't have to do that, but they did that because they want us to get a good education and grow up and be able to go to college.
I think teachers should get paid better because they spend half a day with us and they use their money on us, and and they make sure that we learn good and go to college.
Thank you, College Park Elementary and Principal Maria Green. Jamie, what do you think? Should teachers be paid more?
I think they should be paid more because they're, kind of teaching us because they're teachers.
Yeah, I agree. They're kind of like the backbone of everything we do. I mean, our future. I mean, it's kind of important that they get paid. They have such an important role in our life.
That was such a deep answer. All right, now don't go away. This rip-roaring edition of the morning show will continue right after this break. But before we go, we have our trivia question of the day. Today's show is focused on energy conservation, and our trivia question is, how much electricity did the United States use in 2012? Is it A, 50 billion kilowatt hours, B, 4 trillion kilowatt hours, C, 16 trillion kilowatt hours, or D, 32 trillion kilowatt hours?
We'll have the answer when we return.
Don't look at me. Your hair's a bit frizzy today. Aww, you should pick that up. Oh, you're such a dork. Loser. Here, let me help you with that. Oops.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Oh, look. Your crush is looking at you. Poor you.
They want to help, but don't know how.
See, no one here's gonna help you, because no one
Teach
likes
your
you.
kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
This is the hand that sows the seed, that grows the forest, that drinks from the stream, that hugs the mountain, that gives shape to the wind, that carries the kite, that is flown by the child, that is loved by the woman, that toils at the job, that gives to Earthshare, that supports the hand, that sows the seed.
All life is woven together. How can we choose which environmental cause to support? Earthshare, the workplace giving program, makes it simple by bringing the leading environmental groups together under one umbrella. Support Earthshare, and you support them all, including the hands that sow the seeds and protect the forests and the streams and the children. To learn more, please visit our website.
Welcome back to the morning show. This week we focus on energy conservation.
The United States is the world's second largest energy consumer.
So today our trivia question asks, how much electricity did the United States use in 2012? Is it A, 500 billion kilowatt hours, B, 4 trillion kilowatt hours, C, 16 trillion kilowatt hours, or D, 32 trillion kilowatt hours? The correct answer is B, 4 trillion kilowatt hours. The exact number is 4 billion kilowatt hours.
About 68% of the electricity is generated from fossil fuel, with coal attributing 37%, natural gas 30%, and petroleum 1%.
19% is nuclear power, 7% is hydropower, and 5% from other renewable sources, including wind and solar.
Using such a large amount of electricity, it's easy to see why conserving power is so important.
Yes, especially since so much comes from a non-renewable resource.
Here's another tip to help save electricity. This one is for your refrigerator. Don't set the temperature colder than necessary. Set the refrigerator temperature between 36 and 42 degrees. Set the freezer temperature so the temperature is between -5 and 6 degrees. A small thermostat placed in the refrigerator or freezer will help you set it correctly.
Also, clean the unit. Clean dust off the condenser coils, fins, evaporator pan, and motor once or twice a year. A clean unit runs more efficiently. Unplug the unit and clean with a vacuum cleaner or a long-handled brush.
We have plenty more tips and even an energy trivia game, but right now we have another excellent education feature.
That's right. It's time for College Bound 411. College Bound 411 is dedicated to helping students achieve their dream of attending college. We provide practical and timely information for students so they can compete effectively for college admission. We also clue you in on the latest scholarship information. So get out that pen and paper.
Welcome to this month's edition of College Bound 411. Each month here on College Bound 411, we offer you a list of a wide variety of scholarships in all categories. If you are planning on going to college, then it's time to start learning about scholarships. Scholarships are easy ways to help you pay for college. There are tons of different scholarships to apply for. With a little time and effort, every high school student can find scholarships to apply for. This month, we featured the North Carolina Education Lottery Scholarship. This scholarship was created to help students living in North Carolina who are planning to attend colleges located in the state of North Carolina. They're looking for residents who are enrolled for at least 6 credit hours per semester in a curriculum program. Also, to be eligible, you must meet the satisfactory academic requirements of the institution and be admitted, enrolled, and classified as an undergraduate student. The value of this grant is based on the free application for federal student aid. Grants will range from $100 to $3,400 for the year. Another scholarship available is the Gerald Shin UNCW Alumni Association Merit Scholarship. Each year, the UNCW Alumni Association awards scholarships to incoming freshmen. For this particular scholarship, you must have a minimum grade point average of 3.4 or higher. Applications for 2014 to 2015 will be available beginning November 1st and run through March 31st. To find more information about other scholarships funded by the UNCW Alumni Association, visit uncw.edu/alumni, then click on the scholarships link. The last scholarship we are featuring is the North Carolina Hispanic College Fund. This scholarship offers financial help to graduating high school seniors with a Hispanic background. The only requirement is that you must have a minimum grade point average of 2.5 or better. It offers between $500 and $2,500 to go towards your tuition and fees. To find out more about this scholarship, you can email or call the North Carolina Society of Hispanic People. And now it's time for our college-bound tips of the month. Get to know your guidance counselor. This is the person you should go to help you find colleges that interest you, and they'll let you know the requirements you need to apply. The counselor is usually the person who will write your letter of recommendation to the colleges you're applying to. So it's a good idea to go see them early so they have enough time to help you. Make sure when you go to see your counselor, you're prepared and organized with a list of questions. That's College Bound 411 for this month, to help you plan, prepare, and pay for college. Check out www.cfnc.org. College Foundation of North Carolina is a free service of the state of North Carolina that helps students plan, apply, and pay for college. And don't forget, spending a little time and effort now preparing for college will help you greatly in the future.
If you're college bound, be sure to communicate with counselors and potential colleges to confirm specific dates for application deadlines as well as course requirements.
All right, now it's time for this week's lunch menu. This is the menu for October 14th through Monday, October 21st.
On Monday, October 14th, shake off those Monday morning blues at lunch with Southwest chicken fajita with cornbread or the all-American corn dog. While you're on the lunch line, be sure to add northern beans, sweet potato casserole, garden salad, and a wonderful fruit cup.
Then, on Tuesday, October 15th, sit down with your friends and enjoy Southern fried chicken for lunch or a Salisbury steak. Complement your entree with a delightful biscuit, masterful mashed potatoes, collard greens, garden salad, and fresh fruit.
On Wednesday, October 16th, awaken your taste buds with the flavor-packed Hawaiian chicken and pineapple rice bowl or spectacular spaghetti. On the side, you may add several appetizing items such as a dinner roll, broccoli, garden salad, chilled peaches, and a fruit jello with topping.
On Thursday, October 17th, have a fantastically good time at lunch by choosing either Southwest Nachos Grande or the best fish sticks around. Whichever ends up on your plate, be sure to enjoy the tasty side items of black bean and corn salad, glazed carrots, garden salad, and fresh fruit.
Then, on Friday, October 18th, sit down with your friends and enjoy splendid Philly cheese steak for lunch or a pizza bagel. Also take pleasure in delectable sweet potato puffs, garden salad, and applesauce.
Finally, on Monday, October 21st, battle your midday hunger by enjoying Mexican beefaroni with a roll or delicious French bread pizza. Either way, be sure to add mixed vegetables, garden salad, and mixed fruit to your plate for a pleasing meal.
And there you have the lunch menu for the week.
Don't forget, you can also start your day off with a healthy and hearty breakfast at school.
I now have the pleasure of introducing the first of our two brand new segments which are airing in today's show. Math Fun 101 is a brief yet very useful math lesson produced in conjunction with and hosted by middle school math coaches and teachers. This segment takes a look at everyday problem and how to solve it. This segment also gives us a little bit of information on how we can use it to solve similar problems in our own lives. This week, Ryan Redd, math coach at Myrtle Grove, explains the percents.
Hi, welcome to Math Fun 101. I'm Ryan Redd, math coach at Myrtle Grove. Today we have a great word problem to work through, so let's get started. Our problem centers around raises and percentages. Here's the problem. A baseball player gets a 20% raise. The next year his performance drops and his salary is cut 20%. He says, oh well, at least I'm making as much as I did before. Is he right? Why or why not? So let's go to the board. And if we reread the problem, it does not give us a salary for the baseball player, so we need to make one up. And in real life, he could make $250 million or $250,000, but to make it easy for this problem, let's just use 250. Now, the best way to do this is to find 10% of this amount and then double it to find 20%, but I'm going to use a little diagram to help me get started. And we're going to separate our money and our percent. So we're starting off with $250, which $250 is our total amount, so that's our 100%. So to find 10%, all we have to do is divide by 10. We have to divide 100 by 10 and 250 by 10, and 250 divided by 10 is 25. Now to find 20, all I need to do is times by 2 or double the 25 and you get 50. So he is going to get a $50 pay raise, which 250 plus 50 is $300. So his new salary is $300. So his performance drops and he is going to get a salary cut by 20%. So we need to make a new table to find 10% and then double that to find 20. And since he had his raise, our new 100% is $300 because that is his new salary. Don't make the mistake of using his old salary of $250. Okay, so to find 10%, we divide by 10, and 300 divided by 10 is 30. And to find 20, we multiply by 2. And 30 by 2 times 2 is 60. So he is going to take a $60 pay cut. So $300 minus 60 is $240. So he was better off not taking a pay raise to begin with, but that's okay. But at least he knows that he's making less money after his salary cut. Okay, percentages play an important part in our daily lives. As you can see from today's word problem, percentages can be tricky, and understanding how they work will be quite helpful. Percent is defined as 1 part in every 100. A simple way of looking at it is there are 100 cents in every dollar. 100 pennies equal 100% of a dollar or $1. Some everyday items that use percents are mortgages, nutrition labels, grades, political ratings and votes, and the weather forecast. That's all for today. For Math Fun 101, I'm Ryan Redd.
That was a really great segment. We use percentages so often, it's important to know how they work.
The good news is we'll have plenty more of Math Fun 101 segments throughout the year covering topics like algebra, measurements, calculating sales price, and so much more.
Another great addition to an already awesome show.
That's right.
Now we have another brand new first ever segment coming up.
Don't go away. The best morning show in New Hanover County continues right after this break.
Thank you for calling your GED Pep Talk Center. All right, now, are you ready for your GED Pep Talk?
Being nervous is okay. It just shows that you're serious about getting your diploma.
All right, listen, we all need a little nudge sometimes. I don't function without coffee in the morning, but it is going to take more than a double mochaccino to help you here.
A lot of things are scary. Heck, I'm scared of clowns. No quiero oír. Danny, no lo puedo hacer.
quiero oír. ¿Entienden? Lo voy a hacer.
DMC, liking your pep talk style.
Just keeping it real, Debs. Just keeping it real.
Louder! Louder! I'm gonna get my GED! Come on! Get your GED! Hey. Keep it down, brother. Thanks.
Whatever motivation you need, we've got a pep talk for you. Get your GED pep talk and find free classes at yourged.org.
Who was president? The years 1974 to 1977. He was born Leslie Lynch King Jr. He was the first person to occupy the White House without being elected either president or vice president. His administration helped heal the wounds of the Watergate scandal. If you guessed Gerald R. Ford, you're right. He was the 38th President of the United States. This presidential pop quiz has been brought to you by New Hanover County Schools on the Learning Network.
Welcome back to the Morning Show. I'm Jamie Stalford. The mission of career technical education is to help empower students for effective participation in an international economy as world-class workers and citizens. They have a wide range of programs offered to both middle and high school students. Today we take an in-depth look at one of those programs. We travel to Laney High School and talk with Ms. Sonia Thigpen about the Health Science program.
The Health Science program here at Laney and throughout the county is geared towards students who are interested in pursuing a career in healthcare, either as a nurse, a doctor, dental hygiene, ultrasonography. I mean, there's so many options. At Laney, we have 3 levels: Health Science 1, Health Science 2, and Fundamentals of Nursing. Health Science 1 is targeted towards my 10th and 11th graders who think that might be the path they want to take, so they come into the class. We offer it for 2 blocks during the fall semester, and in that course I teach them an extensive list of medical terminology and abbreviations. I teach them about all of the body systems. We look at the structures, the functions, and then we also highlight some of the diseases and disorders. We talk about several of the professions that they might come across if they had some of those diseases and disorders. It's very fast-paced. There's lots of projects, hands-on projects, and you can see as you scan around the room, they've got some of their work on display where they, in the skeletal system, for instance, they have to make a human skeleton, which is going to help them learn the bones of the body. Then they come back in Health Science 2, and that's mostly for my 11th graders, and that's advanced studies. We talk about healthcare agencies, we talk about infection control, we talk about privacy issues, we talk about legal and ethical dilemmas. We explore more in detail maybe what their options are as far as their future career choice. They also get CPR and first aid certified in that class, and I also start introducing some of the skills that they might be working with when they get to the fundamentals class. We offer the Health Science 2 class once in the fall and once in the spring. And then the 3rd level is called Fundamentals of Nursing, and that's for 10 seniors only, and we teach that once a year, and it's in the spring. It's double blocked, and that class is geared towards them earning their nurse aid certification. So the first part of the semester I teach them an extensive list of skill sets. I demonstrate it, and they get to practice until they become proficient with it. And then in the second part of this semester, I take them to the nursing home where they actually do a 40-hour clinical internship where they're at the bedside, and they actually get to put those skills to work on real people. At the end of the semester, after they earn their nurse aid certification, they can go right out and apply for a job. They can, a lot of the students will go to the long-term care area. Some of them will go with home health. Some of them can go to private doctor's offices and earn a job with that certification that they got as a senior in high school. Most of the students will either apply to a community college or to a university to pursue a career in nursing. I would say the majority of my students are interested in a field in nursing. Some of them do want to go on to become a doctor. Some of them are interested in going into dental hygiene school. Some of them are interested in going on to become an ultrasonographer. So it depends on what their ultimate goal is as to what program that they're going to try to become accepted to.
In Health Science 1, that was my starting point. That was what really got me interested in the career that I chose as a nurse. And I realized then when I was in Health Science 1 that if I wasn't committed or self-motivated, I didn't need to be in this career that I've chosen. And hearing stories from Ms. Thigpen, you really learn what the medical career is really like in the outside world.
Last year I took Health Science 1 and that was very challenging for me, but I was able to grasp what I wanted to do in the healthcare field. I'm still not positive, but Health Science 2 has helped me come closer to what I want to do.
Well, in Health Science 1, I'm really just introducing the human body to them. So it's a lot of information, and it's information that I learned when I was in nursing school. So it's kind of intense and can be difficult for a 10th and 11th grader to take on. So to make it a little bit more fun and a little bit more interesting, usually with each body system, I will assign a hands-on project that will help them better understand and retain that information. For example, for the skeleton system, there's an extensive list of bones that they have to learn, so they have to all make their own skeleton. And I give them a rubric that tells them what bones I want them to put on their skeleton. And then in Health Science 2, they have multiple little projects within, like today, they're going to be showcasing their shoebox projects where they all had to investigate a healthcare agency. And so they had to decorate a box that showcased that agency, and they had to have 5 things within that box. So that they're going to pull those little things out and they're going to tell the group about that particular agency and why they put those particular things in the box. They also have this one giant project called the Healthcare Professional Portfolio. They have the entire semester to work on it. It involves community service, it involves job shadowing, they have to create a resume, they have to have a healthcare project that they have to present and do within the community or within their school. They have to showcase all of their certifications. It's basically a portfolio that's going to show all of their hard work up until this point, working towards their ultimate goal as their future career choice.
If you would like to learn more about the Health Science program or any of New Hanover County Schools' CTE programs, visit the website www.nhcs.net/workforce or call their office at 254-4241. Now let's swing over to the news desk for more Your School News with Rachel Glue.
Thank you, Jamie, and welcome everyone to Your School News here on the Morning Show. The New Hanover County Board of Education has recently created the Board of Education Heroes Award. The award's purpose is to recognize and celebrate the heroic effects of New Hanover County school staff and students who make a profound impact on the lives of others. When recent incidents occurring on a school system ground and regarding students were brought to the attention of the board, they decided to create the Heroes Award. The parties involved in the situations went above and beyond everyday assigned duties, exhibiting dedication and selflessness without any expectation of reward or recognition. The inaugural awards were presented to several outstanding staff and students. To nominate current students and staff for future awards, please visit the Public Relations Department page on the NHCS website for detailed nominee qualifications and the online nomination form. Recipients of the award must meet the established criteria, and their acts will be verified for authenticity. The National Board for Professional Teaching Standards, the profession's standard bearer for the accomplished teaching, announced it will revise its certification process. The revision is being made to incorporate the latest research, as certification was last updated in 2001, and to reduce barriers so that more students can learn from board-certified teachers. We get this report from Cassie Williamson. The organization overseeing advanced teacher certification in the United States plans to revise the assessment process for the credential and to make it less costly for teachers to earn. The National Board for Professional Teaching Standards announced that it would decrease the credential's price tag by $600, give teachers more flexibility in completing the required assignments, and integrate new information into the certification process, including student surveys and measures of students' academic progress.
Yes, I think the price drop will encourage teachers to pursue National Board certification because of the fact that they do not have to pay the entire sum at one time. With the new structure, it's breaking it down into 4 components, and you pay as you go, as you complete each component. And the price is significantly lower than it has been in the past.
Fueled in part by a $3.7 million grant from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, the changes are meant to respond to a decade of new teacher quality research and to address barriers to board certification. About 102,000 U.S. teachers hold board certification, and in New Hanover County, roughly 400 teachers are board certified.
Well, I think the new process is great for teachers. I think it gives them more time to complete it, but also more time to reflect on their units of instruction and see how it really reflects or impacts student achievement.
The changes are among the first rolled out by Ronald Thorpe, who became the president and CEO of the National Board in December 2011. Mr. Thorpe had vowed to boost the credential's prestige and to elevate role of the NBPTS as the definitive body setting standards for the teaching profession. Fewer states, including North Carolina, now subsidize the $2,500 application fee for the board's credential or grant bonuses to teachers who completed the process. Those with the National Board say that the new changes will reflect the latest learning from the field, including the research from the Gates Foundation's massive Measures of Effective Teaching study. Reporting for Your School News, this is Cassie Williamson. For many kindergartners, riding a school bus for the first time is something they look forward to, but times have changed for the vast majority of them. Many students walk to school and most ride in a car to and from school. For these students, the opportunity to ride in a school bus may be months away when they go on a field trip. At Parsley Elementary, during the first week of school, kindergartners got to take a mini field trip riding in a school bus. After instruction on how to safely get on the bus and find a seat, they learned bus safety rules. Then they rode the bus as it circled the parking lot a few times. Principal Hamilton and Assistant Principal Suggs waved to the children as they went by. Parsley kindergartners also learned how to safely exit the school bus. This was an excellent lesson for the young students, and one that will be put to good use in the months ahead. That's all for now. Be sure to turn into Your School News on the morning show next week for the last of our series on reports on bullying. Now back over to Jamie and Noah. Do either of you remember the first time you rode on a school bus?
Thanks, Rachel. No, I don't remember the first time I rode a school bus because that was a really long time ago.
I actually do remember the first time I rode a school bus. I remember I walked all the way to the back and I sat with the 5th graders. I felt like just about the coolest kid on the block right then and there.
You always feel cool when you sit with the older kids on the bus, right? From little things like learning to ride a school bus to big awards like the Heroes Award, there's so many good, positive things that happen in our school system every day.
It is truly amazing. Our next segment features my lovely co-host, Jamie Stalfort. Each week she has a unique look at top 10 list that is informative and entertaining. From animals to food to entertainment and education, each episode counts down 10 items that are tops in their category. Follow along and see if you agree or disagree with the list.
Welcome to this week's exciting edition of The List. I'm Jamie Stalfort. Have you ever wondered where some of your favorite phrases come from? We have some funny expressions in our everyday language, but none quite as common as this week's top 10. But here's the kicker. All of the phrases were created by Shakespeare. That's right. This week we're counting down the top 10 popular phrases from Shakespeare. Starting the list off right is the phrase, all of a sudden. The phrase was first introduced in Shakespeare's play, The Taming of the Shrew, when a man sees his master suddenly fall in love with a young woman. A sudden, at the time, was a term used to illustrate an unexpected event. Something could happen at the sudden, in the sudden, or even on the sudden. But it was this famous playwright who first introduced the widely used term, all of a sudden. Coming in next at number 9 is the phrase, night owl. Night owl used to be a fancy term for an owl, until Shakespeare took it a step further and used it in his poem, The Rape of Lucrece. This was the first time that night owl was used to describe a person instead of an actual owl, and we use it today to describe people who like to stay awake. Shakespeare must have a thing for calling people animal names, huh? Taking the number 8 spot this week is the phrase, like the Dickens. Contrary to popular belief, this statement did not stem from 19th century writer Charles Dickens. The phrase has puzzled people for ages, as it is used in conjunction with something unwanted or hated. And what do we have against Charles Dickens? You can thank Shakespeare for this phrase. It was introduced in his play, The Merry Wives of Windsor, and translates to like the devil, as the Dickens meant the devil in Shakespeare's time. At number 7 this week is the phrase, off with his head. This popular phrase from Alice in Wonderland did not begin its journey there. It stemmed from the historical play Henry V, Part 3, as Queen Margaret mocks her enemy on the battlefield. The Duke of York wants to steal the crown from Margaret and Henry, the current rulers of England, is defeated on the battlefield, and the Queen says, well, you know. Coming in at number 6 is, there's a method to my madness. This phrase is used often today to describe why we put our milk in before our cereal or do other strange things, but was first introduced in the famous play Hamlet. Hamlet says this as he is wandering around the castle, sputtering what sounds like nonsense to most, but he's actually making perfect sense. Now I get it. We're halfway there. This week's number 5 spot goes to Wild Goose Chase. This phrase actually came from Romeo and Juliet, and the phrase goose chase was used to describe a horse race at the time. This was because when one horse would take the lead, all the other horses would make the shape of a V, much like wild geese do. Mercutio uses this phrase to declare Romeo the winner of their battle of wits, saying that Romeo's jokes are 5 times that of Mercutio's. In the number 4 spot is too much of a good thing. This phrase originated from the play As You Like It, as a young man is trying to practice proposing to his love with his best friend, who is actually his love in disguise. He assures the main character that his love interest would say yes, as you can never have too much of a good thing. Coming in at number 3 is the phrase hot-blooded. Hot-blooded was first used in The Merry Wives of Windsor to describe an angry person, or in this case, a god. And now we use this term every time we sing a little foreigner. But hey, at least you'll get a little satisfaction knowing that you're quoting the bard. And taking the number 2 spot this week is Love is Blind. Shakespeare uses this in several plays, including Merchant of Venice, Two Gentlemen of Verona, and Henry V. He uses it to say that lovers are too blinded by their feelings to see the faults in their partner's character. Every time he mentions this phrase, it's never a good thing. But we use it in a more positive connotation today, to say that even though someone has flaws, love sees past them. And drumroll please, your top widely used Shakespearean phrase is knock knock, who's there? During Macbeth, a doorman starts telling people jokes about people knocking on doors, and Macbeth and his wife cannot wait for the 21 lines of knock knock joke to end. Everybody knows there's nothing worse than a knock knock joke that never ends or ends in banana. Whether we're telling jokes or wanting too much of a good thing, we have some funny ways of saying things. Who knew that the majority of these wacky phrases that we say originated from Shakespeare? Well, that does it for this week's edition of The List. I'm Jamie Stalford. Join us again next week.
Well, Jamie, as you wrote this edition of The List, was there a Shakespeare quote you liked best?
I like the knock knock one because I didn't have any idea that was introduced by Shakespeare. So that was kind of interesting to learn. What about you?
Like the Dickens.
Yes, that's very, very...
It's unique.
It's an old saying, definitely. It's incredible how much Shakespeare came up with and how much of it is still around today.
Speaking of incredible, here's a great moment in music.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
We gotta be smarter about what we bite on, okay? I want everyone to go outside. We're gonna run Red Rover on 3.
What about you, Tony?
I'm gonna run around circles, flatten my arms, and make engine noises like this.
When it comes to playing, we kids are the pros.
We're eating right, too.
We fuel up.
To play 60!
Your school doesn't have a program? Be a leader. Start one.
Click today and join the movement.
Coming home can be hard if you're a veteran of Iraq or Afghanistan. You may feel like you're all alone. But you're not alone. At iava.org, your fellow vets are all around you. Join our free online community, get the resources you need, and connect to other vets who know where you're coming from. iava.org. We've got your back.
Welcome back to the Morning Show. I'm Jamie Stalford. An exciting new addition to our Morning Show lineup this year is America's Wildest Places. Each month, we take a visual and audio tour of one of America's national wildlife refuges, brought to you by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. You'll learn about the plants and animals at each one, as well as what the different seasons of the year brings. Enjoy the sights and sounds of America's Wildest Places.
In the northeast corner of North Carolina, autumn approaches on a chilling wind as the area awaits the arrival of thousands of migrating birds. As they have for centuries, waterfowl, geese, and other birds fly south to spend fall and winter in this special place. Fall is a magical time at Poquoson Lakes National Wildlife Refuge. The air is crisp. The leaves display brilliant colors, and it's hard not to notice the numerous new visitors on the wing. Birds are not the only wildlife you'll find here. Look carefully and you might see deer, a rabbit, or a fox. If you're lucky, you may spot a black bear moving through the cane brakes or foraging in old cornfields during early morning or late evening. Poquoson Lakes provides sanctuary for several endangered plants and animals. Over 30 colonies of the endangered red cockaded woodpecker are found on the refuge and surrounding lands. Making their homes in mature live pine trees, these woodpeckers have a chance to flourish in undeveloped forest stands. One of the most endangered animals in the world, the red wolf, is also found here. Once reduced to 14 captive animals, this shy predator has been reintroduced in the area and is beginning to reclaim native ground. Like the red wolf, stands of Atlantic white cedar that once graced large tracts throughout eastern North Carolina are in danger of disappearing forever. A reforestation project at the refuge is helping to protect this cedar from extinction. Fence enclosures have been installed at various sites throughout the refuge. These enclosures protect young trees from deer and rabbits, which favor the tender shoots of the tree. Winter eventually gives way to the music of spring peepers and songbirds. With their finest voices, they greet the spring, a time of renewal at Poquoson Lakes. Waterfowl wing their way to northern breeding grounds. Migratory songbirds arrive, seeking food, water, and nesting sites. Their vivid breeding colors paint the trees with every shade of the rainbow. During your visit, be sure to enjoy a stroll on the Scuppernong River Interpretive Boardwalk, located just behind the Visitor Center. The boardwalk also connects to historic downtown Columbia. Enjoy the dazzling display of wildflowers and dogwoods along the trail. A comprehensive list of the plants and animals you may see on the refuge is available at the Visitor Center. Thank you for visiting Poquoson Lakes National Wildlife Refuge. We hope you enjoy discovering the unique Poquoson habitat and the diverse wildlife found here. National Wildlife Refuges are special places where wildlife and people naturally come together.
Each year, the YWCA has Week Without Violence campaign to help bring awareness to all forms of violence. This year, that week runs from October 14th through the 20th. Our noteworthy host, Abby Bowman, sat down with two members of the local YWCA to talk about Week Without Violence and how you at home can get involved.
Welcome to Noteworthy. I'm Abby Bowman. Each year, the YWCA Week Without Violence initiative mobilizes people in communities across the United States to take action against all forms of violence wherever it occurs. Joining me today to talk about what the YWCA is doing locally for the Week Without Violence is Executive Director Susan Fennell and Child Care Director Sarah Flaherty. Good morning.
Good morning. Morning.
Let's start with you, Ms. Fennell. Tell us about the YWCA's Week Without Violence and why you recognize this week.
Well, it's an initiative that started over 20 years ago by the national office, and it is important because so many folks don't realize how violence is a part of our lives and it's not recognized. And I think what we can do is to make people aware of it in our communities, and that's why we think it's important. It's the third week of October every year.
And what's the theme this year?
It is, what will it take?
Now, Ms. Flaherty, you work with the after-school program at the YWCA. What will that program be doing to recognize this week?
We're going to focus on some awareness issues about violence. I have ages 5 through 13, and so there's a wide range of understanding, but mainly we're focusing on making them aware of what a violent act is, and we're going to do that through a campaign on an anti-bullying campaign.
And what does "what will it take" mean to someone who's school age?
I think that's where we're going to try and work off of the anti-bullying and let them understand that even if they witness a bullying incident going on, they're part of that and they need to do something about it. Be that run and tell a parent or a teacher, maybe for the younger children, or as the older children are watching, they need to understand that it's part of their responsibility to step in possibly and pull that person away, or comment to the people that are bullying that this is really not cool and let's not do this. So we're going to encourage those sorts of behaviors.
And what can the people watching this at home do with their children to help promote nonviolence and to show them this is a problem?
Well, I think there's lots of things. I think that to recognize how violence is inundating our world and our lives, we can maybe just kind of be aware of even TV shows, the computer, gaming, all of those things, how violence is such a part of all of those media sources. And even just in a 30-minute show, sit down that week and count how many times violence is in those shows, and maybe just decide not to watch them or to become cognizant of what is being perpetuated in our children's lives, and that seems to have become okay, and become more aware and more mindful of what we're teaching our children, and what we've kind of become complacent with, and I think that it's a rude awakening once you look at that. In the Child Care Center, we're going to encourage parents to provide the same sort of environment for that week that we do at the center. We have no video games. We rarely watch television. Perhaps on a rainy day they can watch a G-rated movie. We're going to encourage through some role plays of some bullying situations that the children might not even be aware that that is bullying. And then they can take that home to their parents and explain to them as well that these are the things that go on in my life every day, and this is how I have to deal with it.
So you said that it's hard sometimes for children to even recognize that bullying's going on. Do you think it's somehow important to see the violence in some of these movies, or to sort of be exposed to it, or how do you think is the best way to really get that across?
Well, I think like Susan said, if they sat down with their parents and for a 30-minute span on television, just point out the violent things that are going on. And it's not just physical violence. There's emotional, there's verbal. If you watch a group of, say, 8 or 9-year-old girls, and it's as young as that even these days, sometimes the verbal things that go back and forth are brutal. I mean, it hurts feelings, it makes people cry, they feel, excluded from the group. We have some wonderful role plays that we do where you get that light bulb moment and the kids go, oh, that's bullying, that's excluding somebody, that's picking on somebody because they're different. Because our environment, we welcome difference. And we celebrate that. And so I think by providing that nonviolent atmosphere at our center, we're encouraging parents to take that home.
Thank you, Ms. Fennell and Ms. Flaherty, for joining me today. For more information on the YWCA Week Without Violence, you can visit their website at www.ywca-lowercapefear.org. There you can find information on their programs, including the after-school program, as well as information on upcoming events such as the Week Without Violence. That's all for this edition of Noteworthy. Back to you.
The morning show will continue right after this break. Remember, you can be a part of everything on your Hanover County Schools TV by becoming our friend on Facebook.
We'll be right back.
Are you the weakest link at your bus stop? Because you don't know the bus stop safety rules. When riding on the bus, stay in your seats, don't stick anything out the windows. Listen to the bus driver, follow his or her directions. Talk quietly with your friends. Don't throw things in the bus. Safety and the big yellow bus keeps everyone safe and sound.
Passing gas in the presence of others is not only inappropriate,
That is so foul.
it can be deadly. Passing gas releases a fog of carbon monoxide
Grandpa,
and other poisonous fumes that can contribute to asthma and pneumonia.
you're killing us over here.
Kids shouldn't be exposed to secondhand smoke. Don't pass gas, take it outside.
Welcome back to the morning show. I'm Jamie Stauffer.
And I'm Noah Suleiman. So far, we've been giving you many tips on how to save energy at home, but there are many more.
There are many websites that have plenty of tips for you to save both energy and money.
Spending a few of these minutes looking up these tips and then putting them into practice can save you a lot of money over time.
And if we all begin to be smart and effective with our energy use, it could have a large impact on our natural resources and future generations.
On note, here are a few more tips. Clean the lint filter. After each load, clean the filter to keep the dryer running efficiently. Also, periodically check the air vent and hose for clogging. Keeping the air vent and hose free of lint prevents a fire hazard.
While you're at it, clean or replace air filters. Replace filters on exhaust hoods, humidifiers, vacuums, etc. Clogged filters impair performance and cause the units to run longer.
Here's a tip for those who do not need to cook large meals. Cook with a small appliance. Use a toaster oven, electric skillet, or slow cooker rather than your oven. Small appliances use less energy.
Like the dishwasher we mentioned earlier in the show, always run full loads in your washer and dryer. Remember, running a partial load uses the same amount of energy as a full load.
Finally, insulate water pipes. Use half-inch foam or pipe tape for insulation wherever pipes are exposed. On cold water pipes, insulate 4 to 5 feet nearest to the water heater.
For more tips like these, visit we-energies.com. There you will find great tips, an appliances power calculator, and short how-to videos.
And joining us here is Rachel Glue for a new and exciting morning show game.
That's right. Today we are going to play Lower Your Power. Each of you will get 6 chances to lower the amount of power in being used by answering a question correctly. With each correct answer, your meter will drop. The goal is to have the lowest energy output. And for those of you at home, be sure to follow along. Each question has energy-saving information you can use. Jamie, your meter is on the left, and Noah, yours is on the right. Okay, contestants, are you ready? Before the show, I flipped a coin, and Noah, you get to go first. Here we go. How much of the energy used in your home goes to heating and cooling? A, 1/3, B, about half, C, 2/3, or D, all?
I'm going to go with C.
The correct answer is B, about half. That means making smart decisions about your home's heating, ventilating, and air conditioning systems can have a big effect on your utility bills and the amount of energy you use. Make sure your home is properly sealed and insulated, and be sure to choose energy-efficient heating and cooling equipment, change air filters regularly, and have your systems tuned annually to improve efficiency and comfort. Number 2 for Jamie. A compact fluorescent light bulb, a CFL, A, uses half the energy of comparable incandescent bulb and lasts up to 4 times longer. B, uses about 1/3 of the energy comparable incandescent bulb and lasts up to 10 times longer. C, uses more energy than a comparable incandescent but gives off less heat. D, costs more because of the swirled design.
I'm going to go with D.
What?
The answer is B. If every U.S. household replaced just one traditional light with an energy-efficient bulb, Americans would collectively save $600 million on annual energy costs.
I'm sorry, that was just a complicated question.
I feel you.
It's a lot of words in there.
The number 3 for Noah. The Energy Star label designates A, companies that save the most energy, B, a product featured on a home improvement TV show, C, the most energy efficient products on the market, or D, the newest planet replacing Pluto.
I understand the answers, but what was the question? Could you just repeat that? No, like just the question.
The Energy Star label designates.
Okay. A.
The answer is C. Energy Star, the U.S. Department of Energy and Environmental Protection Agency symbols designating energy efficiency, appears on products in more than 40 categories. Number 4. For each degree you lower the temperature in your home, you can cut your winter heating bills by what %? Keeping in mind, it also depends on climate and how many hours per day you turn down your heat. A, up to 5%, B, up to 7%, C, up to 10%, or D, up to 15%.
Just D.
The answer is A. A programmable thermostat can make this easy. It remembers to adjust the temperature for you according to your daily patterns, so don't waste heat on an empty home.
Let's go 2 for 2, Noah. Woo! Really bad at trivia.
Next up, many appliances and electronics continue to use energy when switched off, producing energy leaks that account for what % of total U.S. residential electricity use? A, 2%, B, 5%, C, 8%, or D, 11%?
I'm gonna go with A.
The answer is B. The average U.S. home has 2 TVs, a VCR, and a DVD player that consume energy in the off mode to keep display clocks running and memory chips and remote controls working. Replacing these products with Energy Star models, which uses as much as 50% less energy in the off mode, would save more than 25 billion pounds of greenhouse gas emissions. Next, how many gallons of hot water does a typical dishwasher use during a normal cycle? A, 7, B, 14, C, 20, or D, 25?
C.
The answer is B. Run your dishwasher with a full load, then let the dishes dry. On hot days when you are also running the air conditioning, run your dishwasher after 10 p.m. to help prevent overload on electric grids.
I give up.
According to the U.S. Department of Energy, approximately how much money would you save each year if you switched out 5 incandescent bulbs with 5 compact fluorescent bulbs? A, $11, B, $23, C, $35, or D, $45?
I'm going to go with C.
The answer is D. CFLs not only cost much less to use and last much longer, but they also burn cooler so that they reduce your air conditioning cooling load in the summer. We have some studying to do.
Oh, you think?
All right, Jamie, which household activity consumes the most water? A, dishwashing, B, taking a bath, C, vacuuming, or D, washing clothes?
D?
The answer is D!
Yeah!
Yeah! What's up?
Washing a single load of clothes requires more hot water than taking a leisurely bubble bath or even running the dishwasher. Consider buying a more effective washing machine that has earned an Energy Star for its reduced hot water use.
Well, I think we know who's winning this game.
How much less energy do compact fluorescent light bulbs, CFLs, use compared to regular incandescent bulbs? A, 15%, B, 50%, C, 75%, or D, 80%?
I'm going to go with C.
The answer is C.
Yeah!
Yay!
Compact fluorescent bulbs use 75% less electricity than regular incandescent lights. All right, what is the best method for reducing your personal computer's energy use? A, keep just one program running when you leave your desk. B, put the computer in sleep mode. C, close all open programs. Or D, let the screensaver run.
B?
The answer is B.
Woo!
There is a common misconception that screensavers reduce energy use by monitors. They do not. Instead, change your settings so that your computer automatically switches to sleep mode or manually turn off your monitor to save more energy.
Hey, getting questions right.
What is the optimum temperature for your hot water heater? A, 32 degrees, B, 54 degrees, C, 60 degrees, D, 65 degrees, all in Celsius.
Oh, what was A?
A was 32 degrees.
Then it is A.
Then it is B.
Oh,
Maintain a hot water temperature of 54 degrees to save energy and help reduce the risk of scalds. Next, true or false? Using ceiling fans with your air conditioner can reduce energy costs.
False.
True.
True.
What?
The
Get out
answer
of here.
is true.
Oh,
Use
wait, no,
fans
because they
with
run
your
across-
AC.
okay.
Fans help reduce energy costs by circulating the cool air from your air conditioner. This allows you to raise the temperature and still be comfortable. This use of oscillating fans for greater circulation. In addition, during hot weather, set the ceiling fan direction to blow air down. The air moving across your skin creates a cooling effect, allowing you to raise the temperature on your thermostat and still feel cool. In cold weather, set the fan to blow toward the ceiling. This pushes warm air away from the ceiling and evenly distributes heat in the room. All right, that looks like all the questions we have, and it looks like when it comes to energy saving, Jamie is the winner. Congratulations.
Remember, use energy wisely and it will save our resources and it will save you money.
Now, it's been a great show and a great 4 weeks hosting with you, but I do have one question.
It's been great hosting with you too, Jamie, but what's your question?
How do energy conscious people feel about wind power?
I'm not sure. I guess they like it?
No, Noah. They're blown away.
Corny jokes again. Well, that does it for this edition of the morning show. Remember, for the best TV of all, each and every day, keep it tuned right here at the new Hanover County Schools TV on the Learning Network of the Cape Fear.
Have a great day.
And a wonderful week.